It's the damn aliens.
You've been trying, but you're nothing like me. You can make it, but you're not fooling me. If you jump in the fire, I'll be watching you burn. I'll be waiting till you get what you deserve. You've been lying across the 7 seas, tried to hide it, but now it's sink or swim. If you jump in the fire, I'll be watching.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the All Elite Zone podcast. This is Talking Elite with my wonderful panel. The reason why we're all giddy was because right before Connor was getting everything set up, because Connor's a wonderful producer, we were just humming along and singing along to our own intro. And one of these days, we just got to do like an outtake of like all of our stuff. So yeah, welcome everybody to our awesome Forbidden Door prediction / what is going to go down on this Sunday as time of recording for June 25th, Forbidden Door Part 2 in good old Canada, you know. So
Hey.
it's gonna be a very fun show. Now, let's kind of go back to last night's Dynamite to kind of give people some context. So before we do that, let me introduce you guys to our wonderful panel. We have the Charlotte Flair of the All Elite Zone podcast. She is stunning. She is woo!
Woo!
Please welcome everybody's favorite sunburned host. Please welcome Emily to the show.
What's good? What's good?
Good to have you finally on the show, man. It's been too long.
In a minute. Glad to be
Next,
here.
we have the AEZ rookie. He is coming to us from parts unknown. He is one of the most professionals when it comes to podcasting. Please welcome Zach. How you doing, Zach?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Welcome to the show, brother. It's good to see you again. We missed you last week, so glad that you're back.
Well, thank you for having me once again. It is a pleasure to be here. Again, thank you for the kind words. And let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. All right. And next we have everybody's crazy, soon not to be Florida man. He's going back to the ye old Tennessee. He is everybody's favorite bearded wonder. Welcome, Adam, to the show.
Hey, yeah, another Talking Elite. I'm excited for this one. So I always love our prediction shows when we're predicting pay-per-views and everything like that.
Yes, it's gonna be fun, man. I'm super excited. At first, I thought there was a little sarcasm there, but I'll tell Connor to kick you off the show. All right, guys. Well, and then finally, we have the ringleader of our circus. He is our producer. He is the crazy mastermind, the genius of the All Elite Zone podcast. We have Connor. Connor, welcome to the show, buddy.
Yeah, it's great to be on.
It's good to have you, man. It's always a pleasure to be on your show. We're just so giddy tonight, guys. So it's gonna be a fun show.
So was like glad to be here. I just had so many tech issues.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, it's gonna be a good show tonight. Like I said, we're already laughing, joking, having a good time. So if you guys haven't already, please hit like and subscribe down below. Also turn on that bell to get notifications because we have some bangers of shows coming up. So also we have this crazy banger tonight. So let's get started. Dynamite last night. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still buzzing from it. What did you guys think?
I mean, just the moment of Bryan Danielson with Okada and just like I got legit chills. Like I stood up off my couch, like squealing, like so pumped. So many good teasers last night. Like I am the MJF Adam Cole segment was
You know what's funny is I should have seen that one coming. Like as soon as they pulled the two names out of the hat and didn't say anything, I was like, I should have saw but I turned off my sports entertainment brain for a little bit. But once I saw that those two are going to be tag team partners, oh my gosh, if you guys didn't know, during the segment last night with Adam Cole and MJF, Tony Schiavone gets on the mic. Of course, he gets a lot of flack from both people.
That was awesome.
And he basically says, "Hey, you guys are teaming with each other. What are the odds of that?" I bet MJF's going to do like a whole video or segment on saying the whole like drawing was rigged. Oh man, like
Yeah.
it's looking at it, it was really a fun episode, and even like I would say looking at having some of the Japanese talent, because that was kind of one thing that I felt was lacking a little bit, was we didn't have as much of Japanese from New Japan talent come over to AEW until maybe last week, but this week they literally put all their chips in. And they got me excited for Forbidden Door, because I'm not going to lie, I was a little worried at first.
Well, I know I marked out hard last night for both Ishii and Okada at the end there. And I love that I love that Eddie Kingston just he goes, you know what, I'm done talking. It's Ishii.
Yes.
We've seen Kingston wrestle Ishii before. And the respect that they have for each other is it's unbelievable. So like Emily, I marked out for Okada. I was like, where's the Rainmaker? There he is. So I marked out because I remember the first time when he showed up in AEW before the first Forbidden Door, his face is just like, I see you. I'm coming down there. Like it gets me excited for this whole pay-per-view and that they're able to do this again. So I'm very excited.
I am too. I hope next year. I hope they do. We lost Connor, but I hope next year. I would love to see something in Japan, because I feel like this year, with being over in Great Britain, doing Wembley Stadium, I feel like next year, I think one of the nights of Wrestle Kingdom, I would do an AEW versus New Japan show in Japan. I feel like
AEW takeover for one night or something.
Something.
Heck
I feel like that would be a lot of fun. And just look at the crowd's reaction last night. Going back, one of the things that gave me chills, I even muted myself on the podcast last night, was to listen to Suzuki's entrance and having the whole crowd behind him singing it. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, that was my biggest mark out last night for sure.
Love that man. Suzuki is one of my all-time heroes. Like, in my book, he can do no wrong. The fact that he paired with Jericho and them was just icing on the cake. But I could watch that man wrestle all day, every day. He's constantly, he does not care. He reminds me a little bit of Taz in the sense that he just doesn't care and he just says it or does whatever.
So he's basically
just his chops and his elbows are just, you watch it and you're like, it looks like he just doesn't hold back at all. And he tells other wrestlers, hit me as hard as you can. So
yeah, man, last night was just so much fun. I literally had probably one of the best times I've had in a while. And of course you had everything with CM Punk coming out last night, really kind of tying everything off into a bow. No matter if you love or hate CM Punk, like, having him come back to Dynamite was a huge momentum shift. I bet next week, I hope we get 1 million next week.
Well,
when they started chanting, as soon as FTR came out, I knew. I was like, "Oh, now you got to bring up Punk."
Like even CM Punk said, he's a Collision guy, so he won't be on Dynamite next week.
Yeah,
start the warfare. The brand warfare is coming. Oh man, and also like looking at too, because the Collision card looks stacked too. Like they have a lot of involvement getting ready for Sunday. So, man, I'm super excited. Hope you guys are too for Collision, because, oh man, I'm just getting itchy and just so excited.
Oh my gosh, I think that show has such untapped potential too. Like the sky is literally the limit. It's like the feeling when Dynamite first started. Like, you could do so many things, and I'm just waiting for that magic to happen. I mean, last week was already a lot.
Yeah. So now it's time we get into like our first prediction of the night before we start hitting our match card. Who do you guys think will be Darby and Sting's partner on Sunday?
So I actually, before jumping on, and I actually took a list and looked at previous matches that Jericho had in New Japan. Obviously his thing with Kenny Omega, but Omega has got Will Ospreay, and then of course Okada. But again, Okada is going to be doing his match against Bryan Danielson. So I looked at 3 potential possible team members for them. Obviously, the number one is Nato. That's how you say his name, Nato. They had a good rivalry in New Japan. I think everybody's predicting that might be their partner, just because of the rivalry Chris Jericho had with them over there. Another one could be Evil.
Yep, that's my pick.
Lane, I think you mentioned that before. Evil, they had a little bit of a battle in New Japan, and then this one's right out of a far left field, but Guido. If anybody doesn't know about Guido wrestled against Jericho when they were in War together back in the 90s, and War was known as Wrestling and Romance, and then it changed to like Wrestling Association R. But they had a couple of matches against each other as well, and not only just one-on-one, but tag team. So those are just 3 possible names. I feel like the route they're going to go, though, is because it's most recent rivalry is going to be Nato.
Okay, I can see it. I think either him or Evil would be my 2 picks. Connor, what about you? Who are you thinking?
Now, who I want it to be and who it's going to be is 2 different people.
Okay, give them both. Who do you want it to be, and then who do you think it's going to be?
I want it to be Nato because he's never been in AEW. Because Forbidden Door is essentially an AEW show. It doesn't feel like a New Japan. Well, it has New Japan people, but it feels like an AEW. But that's who I want it to be. But who it's gonna be is gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be Goldberg, because you got Sting and Darby, and you got Jericho on the other team. So it's not what I want. It's just what I think is gonna happen. Because you got Jericho on the other team, and it's Sting's last year wrestling. So
that is true.
I don't want it to be Goldberg personally, but
no, please.
It would be out of place for this pay-per-view too, but it's not impossible. You're absolutely right.
I don't know what AEW is more wrestling based, and he's not. He never has been wrestling based, really. Personally, I want it to be Nato. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Nato.
Naito.
He's the guy that goes like
Naito.
Naito.
I can't do it. I want
it to be him, but
I can't do it.
I think Adam said him as well. That's how I want it to be, but that's who I hope it is. But
yeah, I can see that.
It'd be funny. It would be fun if they had the Goldberg stuff, but it's Goldberg.
Oh yes, Gilbert. Yes, that would be a swear. Hey, I'll gladly. You know what's funny is I'll take Gilbert any day of the week over Goldberg.
Oh my!
What about you, Zach? What are you thinking? Who do you think it's going to be?
You know, I was doing a little research on the web before we jumped on, and I did. I saw Goldberg's name come up, and I agree with Connor. Like, I don't want him anywhere near AEW. Like, stay in WWE if you're going to do anything. But, and then you brought it up, Connor, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this might actually manifest into reality. And I'm thinking, like, well, why? Like, I don't know. But it would be interesting to see for sure.
Just considering who's on the other team, who would be teaming with, makes all the sense. It would be Goldberg.
Yeah.
What about you, Emily? What you thinking?
My vote's on Naito. I think he's got of all the history there between him and Jericho and some of the singles matches they had in New Japan, like, and who's not already on the card, I feel like that's a natural fit for this type of event. I feel like I know people are saying Goldberg as well, but I feel like I would debut if I was Tony Khan and was going to bring in Goldberg at some point. This wouldn't be the time to do it. I would do it at a different event, just because this is really where you want to spotlight some of the New Japan talent and some of that history there. Like, when else are you going to be able to leverage that?
Very true. You know, I think looking at, like, if Goldberg is going to debut, I think it's going to be at Wembley. And hopefully it's just a one-off experience, hopefully just against Wardlow. Have Wardlow come out, have him get speared. Wardlow just no-sells it and then just, like, power bombs me. Like, just give him, like, 10, okay? Give him 10 for all the Saudi Arabia matches that we had to sit through, and then have him go over. All right, so before we get on to the actual match card itself, let's go to our comment section, because I see we actually have a good amount of comments right now. So, Connor, let's pull up. Davis Goose says almost time before I started. Thanks, Davis. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. David Howell says Forbidden Door build has been good just for the past 2 weeks. They barely did any build for anything besides mainly last year. True, you're absolutely right. It's been a weird year for builds for sure, but for some reason the payoffs have been actually really good.
Really,
In my opinion.
I think after Double Down, they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you got to think a lot of those guys don't have visas, and then you have to get a visa to the United States and then Canada, which that's where
even Jason he mentioned that in the comments too. A lot of the Japanese talents don't have visas. They are basically, and that will affect the ratings sometimes. You're true. Like look what happened with Riho, and luckily now looking at Shida. At least Shida lives over here permanently now.
Yeah.
But looking at Riho, it's that's probably why we don't see her a whole lot. And then Jason, whoops. And then Jason was yawning at our Suzuki comments.
Hey now.
At least Naoto would be a good pick for Darby. Will Mays agrees. Goldberg, no. Totally agree.
I love the ...
And this is an interesting one that Zach put up, and I like this answer by Will. It'd be something if it was this person. I would flip out. Lex Luger. I would flip out.
I don't think he can. I think isn't he wheelchair bound?
He's in a he can get up. I've seen him get up. Well, but he can get up. He can get up, but he can't walk far. But he's in a wheelchair.
Oh man,
Lex Express. But
I'd love it if he was there, like in the audience or something, or like he got out. That'd be special.
I don't want to.
Him and Tiger
into like a sidebar thing where like he helps out Sting or something.
That'd be cool. Or have him turn in the crowd.
Yes.
He'd probably turn on Sting because he backstabbed him in W.
Yeah,
that's true.
Right.
In front of everybody.
I still think they're friends in real life, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Probably. Who knows at this point?
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
if you guys go back to our Iron Sheik episode last week and go watch the documentary that he was in, Hogan had a lot of positive things to say about him, and he even gave him a hug in the documentary. So freaking Iron Sheik kept kayfabe alive so much, and how much he hated Hogan just for winning the championship. So I thought that was great. So who knows in professional wrestling anymore?
Worst idea ever in the 90s was the Lex Express. That was literally the worst idea. Because they were just trying to capitalize on how Hogan wasn't there. So they're like, oh yeah, Lex Luger. And the guy wins by disqualification. He doesn't even win the title.
Dude, as a kid, broke my heart when I found out that Lex Express couldn't take down the mighty Yokozuna.
No.
Broke my heart.
He did and didn't.
And why a Samoan is playing a Japanese guy, I still don't know.
But Lex Luger, if anyone doesn't know, Lex Luger and Sting Lex Luger was portraying Sting behind his back from everybody for weeks. Then he not in real life, but character-wise.
Yeah,
he backstabbed Sting and
I guess I shouldn't be surprised in that one. All right, so first match on the card, I'm guessing, or at least kind of no particular order. Athena versus Billy Starks in the first round of the women's Owen Hart tournament. I love Billy Starks. We talked about her last night. A lot of people are upset with her, and I can understand why, because she doesn't have a full-on contract yet. But I think Athena is going to win this one. I think hands down. The goddess can't lose. And if she does lose, then you could say, hey, I'm coming for your championship at what's the next ROH pay-per-view, Connor?
I believe it's Death Before Dishonor.
Death Before Dishonor. So I can see that happening. I think my heart would love to see Billy Starks win it, just graduated high school, about to have a full-on contract for AEW or ROH. So I'm going to go with Athena on that one. I think that's the direction they're probably going to go if I'm looking at the tournament correctly. We'd love to see an upset, but I got Athena.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I actually miss Athena. Like I haven't seen her. I need to watch ROH. I need to subscribe to that. But besides that, like I miss her. Like I love seeing her wrestle. So yeah, I want to see her win. I want to see more of her, and I want to see her represent ROH.
Yeah. Connor, real quick before we have Emily and Adam go, Josh in the comment section has 2 cool comments. So Josh is going to Forbidden Door. So I hope you have fun. Make sure you take your All Elite Zone sign with you. And then he wants to see Athena win the whole tournament. And that would be, I think she would be a good, strong pick to win. So stay tuned to our socials, probably either here tomorrow or Saturday. We'll have our official bracket up. For I'm gonna post it in our Discord, let people, and so we can get that ready, and I'll have Connor post it to our socials. So make sure you guys go play along. Brackets are out. So yeah, all right. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Athena's obviously going to win this, but hopefully, last year they only had one. They had one women's match. This year they're getting 2. I don't think it's going to match the lengths of last year's Thunder Rosa and Tony Storm. That was a really, really good match.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they're getting more, getting 2 matches this year. Athena, she's 25-0 in ROH. She's won every single match. She's already beaten Billy Starks once, I believe. Or I could be wrong. But I think it's going to be a really good. I don't know about a really good match, but I think it'll be a good match. I like to see Athena win it all too, and the finals being Britt Baker and Athena.
That would be awesome.
I like that. Yeah,
they haven't faced off, correct? I don't think they've ever faced before, right?
Not as far as I know. Well, they had a Fatal 4, but singles they've never had
a singles match. Okay, because I can't remember if they've done a singles match or not. So okay, so I think another one for Athena. Emily, what are you thinking?
I could honestly, I felt like I could actually see it going both ways because, like, to your point about the whole contract thing, like sometimes like controversy can draw a lot of attention because then she could go somewhat. You could play off of that, But I still I think Athena's got to win this one. I think it would be a really great time for her to shine, and I think she's just a really great, solid champion. Like she would be so great to win it all as well. But like just win it, I think for sure she's going to win this bracket.
Yeah. So another one for Athena. Adam, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm with you guys. Athena probably should win it. Win this match. As much as I would love to see Billy Starks kind of pull an upset, I think she's got being only 18, she's got a good career ahead of her. So, I mean, even pushing her too soon right now may blow the steam off of it in the future. And by the way, if you guys could tell, I switched to my phone because my computer was giving me issues for some reason. But yeah, no, I see Athena in this, winning this. In my opinion, the one person I actually want to see it win it all, which I feel like they are. I know I'm jumping ahead in the tournament, but I kind of want to see Sky Blue win it all. I feel like they've been pushing her very well, and
Really?
I think this would be a good time to be like, hey, let's give Sky Blue the whole win. Like I honestly think would be a good thing to see, so, and the dogs agree with me too. So
Yeah.
Connor, thank the dogs for agreeing with me, so, but yeah, no, Athena's going to win this one. I think it'll be a good back and forth, but I think Athena's going to win this one.
Yeah. I'm looking at the bracket right now. And looking at it, I think we're going to get, if I'm looking at it right, I think we're going to get Ruby Soho and Athena. I feel like
that'd be
that would be your finals match right there. Or
I actually think it'll be Athena and Sky Blue.
Athena and Sky Blue would be great as well.
So hopefully it's going to be good.
It'd be a rematch from their ROH match. If you haven't seen, that's a very, very good match. They probably one of the first ROH matches that had weapons in it. Well, this new era. It was a very, very good match. We're recommend going and seeing that if you haven't.
Yep. Hasten, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great time. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Jason also agrees with us with Athena. He also wishes Abaddon was in the tournament besides the unsigned talent. So
Isn't she?
We talked about this last night.
Injured for a little while. Is she better?
Yeah, she's been clear for months.
Yeah,
Abaddon
so
has. Yeah.
yeah. Because I think she's doing a couple independent shows to, I think, get back, almost like what Kip Sabian did. Because Kip Sabian cleared a lot before he came back on Dynamite. So I think she's just getting that ring rust off of her. That way, because looking at it, like Abaddon, I really think Abaddon could be the one to defeat Chris Statlander. I feel like you could have that unstoppable, force like an Undertaker or a Kane. I feel like that's a good way to introduce her to the next level. And then you could also do more with Chris Statlander going forward because, you have her lose. What's the next thing after that? You give her a couple more big marquee matches, have her go over, against maybe Saraya, and then maybe try to figure out how to put her in the championship picture eventually because she's always plugged back in.
Well, I think with Chris Statlander with that, I think once she comes back from injury, a good continuation of Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander, because they both got injured at a really bad time where I think their story could have gone a little longer. I think you can continue that. And now you have the TBS title involved with that story. So I think you could go that route as well. You could have like a good best of like 5 matches out of those two.
I think Layla Hirsch will be the one to beat Statlander. I don't know when, but I think that she'll be the one to beat Statlander.
Yeah, it's just crazy to look at it because I want Chris Statlander's run. I don't want it to be more impactful in Jade.
It already has been.
It already has, yeah.
I know she's got such a great story and like. She's one that I'm still to this day shocked that like WWE didn't like fight to get her. Like she has such talent, Chris Statlander.
I think she was just a gem. She was kind of, hidden. If it wasn't for like the Bucks or Cody going out and doing all the scouting like they did,
they never would have
signed her or Jungle Boy because those two right there would have been great in NXT, especially with when
my gosh, can you imagine? I mean, I'm glad they're with AEW. It's just like. To this day, I'm like still so like, oh my gosh, like y'all missed out. She's a
right.
I fear that if she would have went to WWE, she would have been lost in the shuffle. Because like she's a gem. Like you don't find someone like Chris Statlander. Her moveset is unbelievable. The way she moves for a tall woman, like that flip from the apron, like I'm just like, how do you pull that off? That's agility 101 that I can't even do. Like it is unbelievable how talented she is, that I fear that like it is in WWE, there's a lot of talent over there that's just lost in the shuffle.
And look at how many injuries she's had. Like what injuries? You can't tell. Like
no, like to come back from 2 torn ACLs is no strong feat. And for her to still be in that same ring shape.
Oh my god!
But then again, it does help too that she has a coach and mentor like Brian Myers from Creative Pro Wrestling. From rumors had that she was there almost every week getting back into ring shape before she debuted. So I'm glad that she's back. And also kind of going back too, look at the other indie darling right now. That's kind of, I think it almost will be the next Chris Statlander, the next spot. But look at Steph DeLander. Have you guys watched any of her stuff and seen her in
No.
DCW?
The stuff she's doing with Cardona is just it's amazing. I love the stuff her and Matt Cardona are doing. The video that they posted the other night of them as president and vice president of independent wrestling was some of the best stuff I've ever seen in my life.
I think if they ever have AEW women's tag titles, Jamie Hayter and Steph DeLander, the same accent, got the same hair, got the same moveset, they got the same everything. It's like
WWE was so stupid for letting Cardona go, and the fact that I can't.
Well, I think it's more just they didn't like that Matt got over on his own.
Oh yeah, they have to take credit for everything, but he was like a digital genius and star before like all of them, and of course they didn't like that. So,
but now I'm looking at he had a short little cup of coffee in AEW, had a pretty decent run in Impact, didn't want a contract, and now has taken over. And I swear, every major independent show has Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander on it. So hopefully, rumor has it that because there was a book thing I saw that apparently Cardona and Steph would be coming over to AEW eventually. Apparently Tony Khan's got that in the works. but who knows?
Just,
So,
I
just
will
Steffi
be there when
Lander.
he comes
Just her.
oh, dude, I want the whole gimmick. I want both gimmicks over. I think
don't know
Indie
what they-
God,
I
Deathmatch
don't know
King.
what they. I don't know what they do with Cardona. Like
You would have to basically keep him the same momentum he has now. So he would have to win probably either the North Atlantic Championship or win the TNT championship, which he can hold the TNT championship and do great, just like he did the Digital Media Championship in Impact.
he would probably win it and lose it in 2 weeks to Wardlow.
You'd have to keep him the momentum, and I think Tony Khan would be a little bit more smarter, which he kind of failed. Like because Matt even went on record saying he failed his pitch to stay with AEW. That's why like they ended the thing after the Cody and Dark stuff.
I like Cardona, but they don't need anybody. Like they've got a good roster. Like
they got a good roster, so they don't need him. So they don't need him, but Steph DeLander would be a great addition to the.
Well, now that Ring of Honor is a perfect place for Steph DeLander and Cardona.
I mean, I'm saying one thing too with this, Connor, is with the international title, since he's the independent scene darling, he can take that international title and defend it at any promotion he wants. That's the greatest thing he can do. Like, just look. I mean, it's amazing what he can do. Like what he's been doing on. I mean, when he's like, the moment I saw him sent a tweet and tell Vince, hey, look at all these titles I won on the independent thing.
He did the Ultimate Dragon thing. He
did, yes, the Ultimate Dragon thing. It was great.
Yes.
But yeah, Ring of Honor would probably be where he would go first.
Yeah, because ROH needs some more star power.
Yeah, I feel like you could have him, dude. Him and Claudio would be a great match.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Like that would be. Yeah.
So, do you know if Cardona's heel or face?
He's heel. Like
at
this point, like it's part of his character. Like every time that he comes to the current, even like little kids have to flip him off. It's the greatest thing going in indie wrestling right now. So shout out to Matt Cardona and Steph DeLander. You guys are killing it on the independent scene.
We love you.
So I know we got a little off topic. This one surprised me because Connor and I were messaging back and forth before we went on air, and he sent me the full card for tonight, and I had no idea. I don't know who this guy is, but we have the next one is Adam Cole versus Tom Lawler. Is that right?
Yeah, Tom Lawler. Yeah.
So who is Tom? I have never seen him wrestle.
It's not related to Jerry Lawler, is
he?
No, his is spelled LAWLOR.
Got it. Okay, I was okay.
He was in Major League Wrestling, MLW. He was actually a fighter, MMA fighter or something like that.
He was in the UFC for a while.
UFC.
Yeah.
Oh.
Apparently, this is a spoiler for Rampage. So.
So this is. So it hasn't been officially announced yet.
But it was.
I was like, when did this come out? I've never seen or heard this.
So tomorrow on Rampage, I guess we're gonna get. We spoiled it for you.
I'll still act surprised.
Yeah,
there you go. We just talked about someone else who's going to be on Rampage tomorrow as well. A few moments ago, I don't know what his name. I don't know what his name's going to be, but
don't spoil that.
It kind of makes sense looking at it now because if MJF's probably because MJF was in MLW for a little bit too, and I bet something's going to happen with MJF tomorrow. I was saying, hey, Adam Cole, buddy. Since I have a match on Sunday, I think you need to have a match too.
I mean, I could see that happening. So, but no, I knew as soon as he said the Lawler name, I knew exactly who it was because I used to watch a little bit of UFC sometimes. And when he said Lawler, I was like, oh, I know exactly who he's talking about. I used to be a UFC fighter, fought in the light heavyweight division in UFC. So I don't know if he did. I don't know if he did very well in it. I think he only won like 11 matches. He only fought like 20 matches, and he went like 11-7 or 11-8. So, but he's an actual fighter. But him doing MLW too kind of got him into the whole where he was a champion. I think he was the heavyweight champion at MLW for a while. So.
Yeah, that's looking at that. That is, I think Adam Cole's going to win this one.
Oh yeah,
think-
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
think-
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm sorry
I
to
think-
whoever, but I'm sure Adam Cole's gonna win this
Oh
one.
yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Cole.
I think hands down, Adam Cole. So I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow on Rampage now because I had no idea that was a thing. All right, next we have the Blackpool Combat Club. So this is Moxley, Yuta, Claudio, Takashita, and Shota Umino. Is it Umano? How to pronounce that one?
Umino.
Omino, thank you. Omino. Going up against the Bucks, Adam Page, Eddie Kingston, and Ishii. This one's going to be a crazy fun match. I can't call this one straight down the middle. I want to say the Elite are going to win this one.
I think it's time they're due for a victory. I think they're gonna win.
So I got the Elite. I think you'll have a good setup between Kingston and Claudio for Death Before Dishonor.
So good.
I think that's the direction they're
That's
going
what they
to
have
go
to
with it
build
tomorrow.
toward. Yeah,
Yeah.
my money's on the Elite for this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Elite on this one too, just because, like you said, like BCC has been controlling this feud like ever since it started. Whether it was in tag matches on Dynamite and Rampage, or individual matches, or their big match at Double or Nothing, like they've just been controlling this whole feud, you know. So I think it's time on a big pay-per-view like this. I do see the Elite, Kingston and Ishii winning this one. My question is how do you do the 10-man? Like, is there it's no holds barred? I mean, you're gonna have to. There's gonna have to be like no tags, you know, kind of like at the House of Black has the House Rules matches where they just fight on the outside and two guys are in the ring fighting. Like, that's the only way you're gonna get this match going. Like, because I don't know how you're gonna do tags and all this stuff. It's like just let it open, because that's the only way you can run this match.
Well, and I it's gonna be hard to see what's gonna happen because it's just gonna be chaotic. It's going to be just like Anarchy in the Arena. It's going to be chaotic. So maybe I could see doing an elimination match. I wonder, like, the Elite could come out on Friday or Saturday, be like, "Hey, like, this is like I said, we faced you in your match, the one that you wanted. Now let's see who the better wrestlers are, and have them do it that way, and where it's an elimination. Like I said, Survivor Series type match. Let's go."
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
All right, what are you thinking, Zach? Who do you got winning this one?
Well, I'm gonna be. I'm always gonna root for the BCC, because like Moxley, I'm an Ohio boy, but I do agree with you guys. I think it's time that the Elite get a win. I mean, they had, what was it, last week or the week before, they got a TV win, but like like you all have said, like, BCC have been dominating. So yeah, I think to keep this this rivalry going, I think they need to give the Elite the win on Sunday.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I feel like I really do feel the Elite deserve this win. They've been put through a lot. The only thing else that's kind of a wild card in the factor is Don Callis and Takeshita.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing to look at too, because with that big weasel snake in the grass,
Oh my gosh.
just waiting to strike, and something could easily happen. He could easily turn on he could go take a shot. He could easily take out the one of the Bucks, or do something with a chair or a distraction, because for some reason, guy gets on an apron, distracts you, gets rolled up and pinned. Wrestling logic. It's so crazy how effective that is. Like,
It really is.
If you were a wrestling fan on the outside, you'd be like, "Why the heck? Why would you be doing that?" Like, but then as a wrestling fan, it's like, yeah, once you get in that ring, your adrenaline's going. You don't see the man on the apron.
Don Callis is getting that Dan Lambert heat that Dan Lambert just had, and now Don Callis is just taking it and just ran with it. I love it. I might be in the few that is a big Don Callis fan. I don't know why. I love the heat that Don Callis gets.
Getting as much as Dominic Mysterio at the moment. Like, I can't even hear a word he was saying the last city he was in. His booze so loud.
No, you're right. No, you cannot hear at all.
Anything.
Oh man! So and real quick, we're gonna go to Jason's comment about the Elite. He says the Elite will definitely not be welcomed on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, you knew when CM Punk's gonna come back. You knew that no matter how hard they try to turn Punk heel, you knew that they were gonna turn on the Elite.
Oh yeah.
I want to see them on there because there's more people. I like how they got it set up. Punk's on Collision and the Elite have their Funhouse. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor is pro CM Punk, if you didn't know.
well, I like the Elite. Just not my. I like the OG Elite. The Cody, Young Bucks, Kenny, Hangman, and Marty. That's the Elite I liked.
I really hope the rumor is not true, but apparently they're not signing. They're going to WWE. Apparently,
Who?
Go.
the Elite and Hangman.
No, they
Hangman,
would never.
There are rumors that Hunter is very high on Hangman Page. He loves his look. I don't know why he likes his look, but he loves his look and his work.
I know why he
It's a
likes
physique.
him because he reminds him of Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Well, that and Stone Cold.
Oh my.
It's that cowboy.
It's like a mixture, yeah.
It's like a mixture of both.
I've seen
Shawn
someone
Michaels.
make a bold theory, but that the Young Bucks and Kenny go to WWE. No. The Bucks and Hangman go to WWE. Cody comes back to AEW and Kenny stays.
That would be interesting, but I don't like. My heart says the Elite won't leave, but who knows? Cody left. You know, it kind of made him look like a hypocrite, but fans were behind him. Like he did the same shtick in AEW, and is getting praised for it in WWE.
I know. It's
You know, I know we talked about being fickle, but that one's a little.
I've actually been a fan of Cody since his heel turn against Hardcore Holly when he teamed with Ted DiBiase Jr. I was a fan of him then. I got to meet him in person, and he was the coolest guy. This was back in 2008. This was like weeks after he turned heel and joined Ted DiBiase Jr. as tag team champs. I met them at like a meet and sign, and I talked to Cody, and I told him I was a big fan of his dad. I was a big fan of the American Dream. He said, and he looked at me and says, "I'm a big fan of my dad too." And I was like, "Cool!" Like he's like the coolest guy you will ever meet.
Yeah, I met him at his last AEW signing
oh.
here in Texas. And my fiance is a bigger Cody fan than I am. That's how like I got her into wrestling. Was I'm like because I was watching one of Cody's videos with Pharaoh, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, that puppy is so cute." And I'm like, and she's like, "Who's the hunk?" And that's how this conversation started, getting her into wrestling. And then the next time I say, "Hey, you know, we can hang out tonight because I'm watching wrestling." She's like, "I'm coming with you." Like, okay, works for me.
Now I'm interested too.
And now she's a bigger wrestling fan than I am. So
Nice.
you know, but looking at it, who knows what could happen? My heart says the Elite will always
I
be
think they're gonna stay.
AEW.
I feel like they would fundamentally want to stay just because I just feel
They
like
still
that's
have
always-
buzz. That's the thing. They have a lot of heat and buzz. So it's
I think,
And they still have momentum in the company. I mean, the AEW is having all this momentum with these international shows.
Yeah.
Like that, you can't leave a company that's on the rise. Like,
and like
Good
there was a
I
post
don't
with
know if I
Flight.
believe all that stuff, but I still think they're going to build to something between CM Punk and the Elite. I don't see how you can't.
that's got to be what closes out Wembley. Like yes,
Yeah,
some kind of combination has to close out Wembley.
At a certain point, y'all need to suck up whatever feelings and give us the damn match we want. Like
Yeah.
that is what we want to see. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they're taking shots at each other on Twitter, and like it's gotta be coincidence. Because even in the AEW video game, like, did you guys see the screenshot of one of the moments in the game with one of the Bucks talking to Stark saying, "Hey, don't trust that CM Punk guy."
That's awesome.
I'm just
So,
so
like I said, so I think something is there. So I think we just gotta, like I said, I think due
they'll
time.
stay.
I think probably this year or next year it'll be something with Punk in the Elite for sure, because that's the biggest story you can tell in wrestling aside the bloodline breaking up.
I'm
I
still
know,
waiting for my dark side of the ring on that night, and if they do that or whatever, like, come on, guys, you guys.
I bet
that would be season 5 or season 6.
Yeah, really.
because they still have a lot to talk about too. So, like I said, they have a lot of comments.
I think they're going to stay because Fightful reported that AEW is very confident that they'll sign him back
Yeah.
Which they added time to Kenny's contract, so he can't leave because he got injured for half the year. It was 2022.
Yeah.
He was injured, so they added time. So
But wrestlers are the biggest carnies, you know. We talked about it before. They are the biggest carnies. So
I think
who knows?
Kenny,
I bet they've already re-signed. It just hasn't been come out public yet because some things
Yeah,
can stay
honestly.
behind closed doors.
but I know. I don't think. I think we'll get that feud, but it won't be anytime soon with the CMFTR and the Elite because there is still a lot of legal stuff that they can't.
Yeah.
They can't be around each other. They can't.
Oh, legal sucks the fun out of everything.
No, but it makes
Mhm.
sense. So that way they're able to both come on, Dynamite and Collision. Like you get, and looking at it from a business perspective, the Elite were your founding members, and CM Punk's your biggest draw. So you got to keep both groups
I think
happy.
it's gonna
somewhat.
happen.
Mhm.
I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, eventually. Like it's the biggest story in pro wrestling right now.
Oh my gosh.
Because think about it, we still talk about it. It's almost been a year, and we've talked about almost every single episode. So something must.
I was listening to Jim Cornette, and he said that like this moment will forever be a mark in AEW, like wrestling history. That press conference he went on, it's part of wrestling history. Like it'll forever be a huge moment in AEW history, whether it was good or bad. I enjoyed it.
Well, Cornette just likes to hate. Like
it's true though. Like that moment will be tied to wrestling history forever.
Just like the screw job, the brawl for all.
But it was entertaining though. Brawl for all, oh god.
Oh my gosh. Brawl for all out.
Yeah, brawl for all.
Oh, poor Dr. Death.
Yes.
Like, did someone get paralyzed doing that?
Somebody got brain. There was a lot of wrestlers that got hurt and brain damage because of that. So, thank you, Russo, for coming up with the idea of making tough son of a bitches. And now all of them have brain damage and possibly dementia. So, good job, Russo. You just destroyed the best minds in the wrestling business, or some of the best minds. That could have been
WWE's budget and medical bills. JR talks about that in his book. He's like, that was the worst decision we ever made.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have a whole episode, when you have a whole episode of Dark Side of the Ring just based on that alone, yeah, you know there's an issue there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get switch gears back into our. One thing I love about Talking Elite is we have the best tangents. We have the best.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah. Before I go to our next thing, Mike Morris asked, "What do you guys think about the TNT Championship?" I don't know how you feel about it, but I like Luchasaurus. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens because I don't want it to be hot potatoed again.
I know that's what's bothering me the most about it. It needs to be given some value again. I feel like when you hot potato it loses its gusto, if that makes sense.
Well, I wonder if they're just pressing the reset button like they did with Jade and Statlander. I wonder if this is a way to work on Wardlow, get him into some other programming that's not hot potatoing the belt, where he can do back and forth 50-50 booking, if you look at it that way. And then Luchasaurus could become a new dominant heel. Oliver states that Wardlow will back soon. It's kind of hard to say, Oliver, because it's one of those things that I liked Wardlow as TNT champion, but at that point, it's like a Charlotte Flair title reign.
Oh yeah,
I don't want him to be like dependent on that because he should literally be one of the best things in wrestling right now. In my mind and heart, he is, but with the TNT championship, that does not look good.
Right.
It's kind of predictable, right, Oliver? We agree. It's kind of predictable.
Yeah. Yeah, like we talked about last time I was on participation championships. And that's where I feel like the TNT title is right now. And it's a beautiful belt. And I want to see it have some prestige, and to me, just like when I look at the TNT title, I think WCW because they have like the side plates on it, have that like kind of Georgia feel to it. Maybe that's just me. So I'd like to see it have like that old, like maybe even WCW TV title kind of feel to it.
I love that title from WCW, their television title. It was one of the most beautiful titles I've ever seen on television.
Absolutely.
You know, and I guess it's the hard part is I want it to be memorable. I want it to be worthwhile. And the belt has so much lineage with it from Darby, you know, to Brody Lee, rest his soul. Like, so I guess that's kind of why I'm a little frustrated with it. This is it should have lineage to it. And also have one of the best tag matches. So before we get to our next thing, Oliver posted in the comments, Wardlow wins it back in 2 weeks, and then Hobbs will win it back the next week. Wardlow wins it back, and then Cage finally wins that All Out. Joe wins it back, and then Wardlow wins it back. Okay, what a mouthful.
Sorry about that. Some internet.
No, you're good. Like I said, we're just getting ready to go to the next match. All right, so the next match on the card, we have Tony Storm versus Mercedes Monday. It's Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale. So, man, like it should have been Mercedes. It should have been, right?
Oh yeah.
But
yeah,
was it? Yeah, I wonder if the original plan was Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter, but since both of them hurt,
that's
Tony and Willow is gonna burn the house down. It's gonna be a hardcore, great.
Oh yeah.
I bet this will be AEW's first women's 5-star match.
I'll be honest with you. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Willow Nightingale. She is a very talented woman. She's got like that Chris Statlander thing. This strong, look of a woman. Like, I'll beat your ass. I could look happy, but I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like her promo that they showed with her and Tony last night. Like she's like I'm gonna fight her. I'm gonna be there, but I don't respect her. I don't respect her character, but I'm gonna beat her up. Like her character, she's this smiling, but when she gets mean, she can get mean. Like Mr. Jacobs and I, when we did our Friday night Rampage, reactions, both of us were just so we were so impressed with her. We're like, dude, we're actually happy that she won the title in New Japan, So, I mean, obviously it should have been Mercedes, like you said, Lane. It should have been Mercedes and Jamie, but because they're both injured, we get this. But this is still going to be a good match.
Yeah.
Lane, when you
but
said,
I'm going to go with Tony Storm. But Tony Storm's going to win. So.
Now, when you said a 5-star rating, who'd you like? Melter rating it or fans?
Melter.
That's kind of hard because there's a lot of times Melter can be out of touch on a lot of things. But there's also sometimes but there's some matches I agreed with him on the rating sometimes.
Well, like I was just asking like a fan's perspective or
I think as a general conception,
because I think Tony and Jamie Hayter Full Gear was 5 stars.
That was a 5-star. Yeah.
But I think if you want to make official wrestling newsletter, I think this could be potentially a 5-star.
Yeah.
But also for a fan perspective, I think it'll be a 5-star match as well. So a general broad, yes, 5-star from both the Crazy Meltzer and from the Fickle fans.
Oh, who's fickle is Dave Meltzer. That's who's fickle.
That's who's fickle.
Meltzer.
Didn't he make 3 reports about how the AEW locker room was doing great with CM Punk coming back, and then it was toxic and turmoil? And then it went back to being it's okay.
Yeah.
Or it's diverse, where it's
his source inside the locker room is a janitor. That's Meltzer's source in the locker room of AEW, man. That guy has no idea.
It's the son of the janitor.
No idea, man. Every time I see him appear on Dark Side of the Ring, I'm like, dude, why are you even on the show? You are a terrible reporter. You are just terrible at everything that you do. Your journalism sucks in pro wrestling.
Damn. I used to have a lot of respect for Meltzer, but it just last 4 or 5 years, he's just been
a little out of the loop. Yeah.
Dude, when you mentioned that he's getting his info from the janitor, I keep picturing Billy Madison. And when he's using the janitor, he's like, Miss Libby's car is green.
Billy likes to drink soda.
Ultimate Belt 2 is getting his info from.
Oh shit!
That's funny. That's great.
I agree. I think Tony Storm's going to win this one, but I think Willow's going to come out swinging hard.
I
and
think she's
it's
going to
gonna
give
make
her a
a
run
top
for her
contender.
money. Like, she's still going to look great doing
Yeah.
it. It's just that,
Mhm.
yeah. I think Tony's.
But, another positive about Tony Storm, though, if you think about it, she has not had a bad match since she joined AEW.
Mhm. She's had
put
a lot.
everybody over.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zach, golly.
Josh is even laughing in the comments, so thanks Josh for laughing
Yeah.
along with us. Our crazy show. Yeah. Tony Storm, I think, is going to win this one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think Tony Storm wins, but I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be probably the best women's match. Well, we got two women's matches, so I think it might be the. It's hard to say who's going to be the better women's match, but I think it's going to be a good match.
the best women's match of the card.
Mhm.
We've got Tony Storm's on the card again, like last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Hayter and Mercedes. I think that was probably the go. But hey, we don't have an interim women's champion, so
That's
the
true.
part.
Thank goodness.
But
Don't jinx it.
But I'm looking forward to this match. But I got Tony winning it.
Knock on wood. I'm not jinxing it. Mm-mm.
Not Joey.
I can't. Like, no more I'm glad that they've not done an interim champion. Like, I'm
I
glad.
think Tony won this last
Oh,
time,
that
right?
would have been
Yeah.
such a disaster.
With the
yeah.
what was it called? All Access. I think he won his lesson.
Yeah.
Everyone was.
I wish they would have done all access. I really think that's kind of hurt them in a way.
I loved All Access. It showed a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Someone. Well, I'm not going to mention that. Someone got arrested in that show.
Oh, nice. I'm going to have to watch it then now because I'm curious.
Ooh.
Well, not on the show, but after it aired.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, it wasn't part of the show. It's just someone on there that they featured.
No kidding. Huh.
Yeah, AEW put out a press release about it.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I saw the press release. I'm like, who?
Uh-huh.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, for the press release. All right. This match, now, I think we're going to have a title change, personally. Next match, we got your was it the North Atlantic? Yeah, sorry. North Atlantic champion, Orange Cassidy, taking on Daniel Garcia, Zack Sable Jr., and Katushiri Shibata. Shibata? Is that right? Shibata, yes. So this one, I think we're going to have a title change. And the two outcomes I can see. The first one, I can see Daniel Garcia. Give the man his flowers. This kid looks great in the ring. He's smooth.
Mhm.
He literally looks like a young Bryan Danielson, but with his own taste. So I think this kid's got big plans, and I feel like this is the way to prove it to your audience. So I feel like it's going to go Daniel Garcia is who I think is going to win it. Now, if I want a shock victory, because I think a shock victory would be good, and this would be a great way to grow your partnership with New Japan, have Zack Sable Jr. win it. Have him be a dual champion because he can go back and forth, no problem. Have him go wrestle that belt in Japan. Have him lose his Japanese. Is it the Japanese TV Championship? Is that what that is that he has?
It's the IWGP World Television Championship.
Oh yes, world. Yeah. So have him drop that belt, and then have him sign with AEW. I know that we probably should have any more signings, but I feel like with having him and Ospreay, I feel like that'd be your last two to cap off your amazing.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. said he was New Japan. He signed a 7-year deal.
True. Anyway.
He's New Japan for life. But he can still be on AEW. That's the good part. So him and Ospreay can still be a part of AEW because they got this partnership, which that's the good part about it. At least we're getting them on it.
Yeah.
AEW.
Well, either way, I feel like that would be. I think it'd be a good way to promote your company or your belt, and have it be in another company because AEW has not had somebody outside their company hold one of the belts. Kind of like because I think Impact, you had it with Christian and Omega, but I think now it's the time to really. I don't know, just shock us, give us something different and new.
Hmm.
I feel like that would be the way to do it. And then you can have him on TV each week, show clips, have him fly back, have him have a crazy match. It has that heelness like Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns does, where the less you see him on TV, the more you want him on TV, and the more you want him to be defeated. So I'm going to go Garcia as my official pick. I think Garcia is my hands down official pick.
I feel like Orange Cassidy's had it for a while too. Like he's defended. There was like so many close times when he's almost lost it that I feel like this is what they're building to like finally transition it. I'm gonna go with that too.
You know, and I think if you look at too, like Orange Cassidy's had the Undertaker role. He has that relationship with Tony Khan like Vince had with Taker, so, and that's coming from Matt Hardy. So. Yeah. I think there's other stories now you could tell with Orange Cassidy that doesn't involve that championship. So, yeah, I can see it happen, Emily. All right. Adam or Zach?
I'm still here.
Oh, Connor, you're still here. I was like, Connor, where'd he go? Okay. All right. One of y'all go next.
So I love Orange Cassidy. His music hits and I pop like a little kid. Yes. But yeah, oh man, I don't know. I want to see Orange win, but then again, it's like you said, he's had it for a long time. I'm also ready to see him like pivot into another story. So I do like the idea of the Garcia winning. So yeah, and I love watching Saber, so he'd be a good one. So yeah, I don't know.
What about you, Adam? Who are you thinking?
So I'm trying to see. I don't see much. It hasn't been really pushed with the card for Death Before Dishonor. But you know, like you said, with a shock value. I mean, you can see Shibata winning it, but dropping his pure championship at Death Before Dishonor. You know, he can bounce between both shows. You know, but as much as I am with Zach and love Orange Cassidy, I think his character is great. He really does connect with the fans, especially the young kids. I mean, I see more and more I've seen in a while, you know, so honestly, I do see a title change here, and I'm going to go with Lane and Emily. I'm going to go with your guys' choice, and I think it's Daniel Garcia. I think there's the opportunity there for to push that kid. I mean, he already had the pure championship. I think it's time for him to be pushed a little more because I'm pretty sure Daniel Garcia still has a couple of shows to do elsewhere that he can definitely defend that title, whether it's over in Ring of Honor or AEW, if it's another promotion that AEW is working with. But I think this is the time to get a title back on Daniel Garcia and let him roll with it. The kid's got a lot of talent and a lot of charisma. He just really does deserve a little bit of a run. You know, I just don't want to see it where I don't even know how long he held.
Oh.
And we lost Adam.
Oh no!
No! All right. Well,
really rolling there too. Oh.
Yeah, man. Adam had a really good point of view, and Mike actually in the comment section was a really good point. Mike posted it's going to be Joe versus Saber at Death Before Dishonor, and then Shibata versus Garcia. So
that's what it looks like.
Stuff. I can see that, yeah.
Now for this match, last night Orange Cassidy lost.
Yeah, his first loss in a while.
That's why I don't think he's going to lose at Forbidden Door. It was a sneak. It was basically showing that Orange Cassidy lost, and it's just how do I say it? Just it's to show what's to come in the future. That's why I think he's going to win at Forbidden Door, just because he lost. It's just showing you that he finally lost a match, even though he didn't get pinned. I don't think he got pinned, but I think he wins at Forbidden Door. I think Miro's the one to beat him for it. I think Miro is a good person to take the belt. But if I had to pick someone else besides Orange Cassidy, I'd say Daniel Garcia. if a lot of people say AEW doesn't build the young stars, and well, the one guy I say is Wheeler Yuta, but besides Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia they built very very good with. I'm sure he's got a lot of experience from Jericho, from all these guys he's worked with, and A. Danielson. Moxley. He's probably got a lot of different experiences with all kinds of big names. But I'm going Orange Cassidy. I think Wednesday was this look into the future of Orange Cassidy's got to watch himself because he finally lost a match and he didn't even get pinned, which could happen tomorrow. I mean, at Forbidden Door, he can lose without getting pinned.
Still makes him look strong.
Yeah, that's what I think he's going to win. But
all right.
Yeah.
I feel like this next match is going to be straightforward, and who's winning this one? Next one is CM Punk.
Yeah.
CM Punk
versus Kojima.
CM
Kojima? Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, I think Punk's going to win this one, but I think the real story is going to be what happens after the match.
Very true.
I bet Kenta's going to come out. And I bet he's going to do a go to sleep on CM Punk, and I think that's going to set up for a match down the road.
That's a very good point.
I'd love to see that.
Hi.
Hi,
Welcome back, Adam. We missed you.
So my phone overheated and shut everything down.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh no!
I was like, what? He just was in a good spiel. Oh,
No,
man.
I was done. So I was just Daniel Garcia.
Okay, sweet. I feel like this next, I think, like I was saying, like everybody came back on. But CM Punk versus Kojima. I think CM Punk's got this, but I think Kenta's going to come out and do something with him afterwards. I think it's going to be an attack, or it's going to be setting up CM Punk's next big feud.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't gotta say. I'm just look at my background. I guess.
Yeah, I think we all know who Connor wants to win this one.
But I think the match is going to be very good because CM Punk hasn't won against many Japan talent in his career. He hasn't won against that many. So it's going to be very interesting to see. The guy he's going against is he's very unique. His moveset, if you've ever seen him before.
I have not seen him.
He went against Moxley at All Out 2021. Yeah,
One.
21. Yeah,
He
went
did?
against Moxley. Yeah.
Huh. I don't remember.
That's when Suzuki made his debut in AEW.
I remember Suzuki, but I can't.
I think it's gonna be a good match. And whoever wins this will go against Punk or Roderick Strong. So Punk and Joe is a possibility to happen in a singles match.
True.
If Joe beats Roderick Strong, I got Punk.
All right. Yeah, I think that one's kind of straightforward. So I think it's gonna be more of the story after the match that's really going to make that. All right. So next we have the New Japan IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sanada. Is it Sanada? Is that how you pronounce it? Sanada? Sanada, yes. So Sanada versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I think Jack Perry will lose this one cleanly. I feel like having him be the New Japan World Heavyweight Champion would be cool, but I think Sonata's got to win this one. He just barely started his reign.
He did. He just won it. Yeah.
So he's got to look strong and like.
So he's the one who just beat Okada in the finals for that title too recently. So he's got to hold on to it. This is just more so of a story starting between Jungle Boy and Hook. I've been reading online that they're looking to maybe reinvent Jungle Boy's character and actually push him as a heel. And you know what? I honestly could see it because we saw a glimpse of it at Double or Nothing when you saw it and MJF's like, hit me with the belt, come on, hit me. Like he wanted him to go dark. And he's like, no, he can't. But like he could, so I think what this is going to be going towards is Jungle Boy basically going that heel side and turning on Hook. Hook already has the following. Everybody loves Hook.
Yeah.
He just comes, beats the crap out of everybody, and then just leaves. No, doesn't even say anything. Just beats people up, wins, and leaves. You know, I mean, that's what his father did. Although his father, Taz, was more of a talker back in ECW. Like he would beat guys up, but then he would still talk crap. You know, but I see this as more so as a good like, it's going to be a good match. I've mentioned it on the podcast with, you know, Lane, you and Connor, when we talked about, you know, the young guys that we look forward to winning titles. And I'm very high on Jack Perry. I honestly think Jack Perry is a future star in AEW. He's going to win a title. I think a heel change will be really good. I'd love to see him cut the hair and like start wearing a suit. Like I want to see him go that full heel. You know, I wanted to see him cut that hair and ditch the Jungle Boy music and like go for like a generic entrance song where people are like, dude, what is this? Like, you suck, dude. You sold out. Like, so I think, like I said, Sonata is just kind of just there because they're like, well, Sonata's got to be on it. Who do we wrestle against? I mean, even Sonata tweeted, he goes, I don't know who Jack Perry is. You know, he literally tweeted, he goes, this is the best that AEW has to give me. He goes, I'm not even scared because I have no idea who this kid is. You know, so it's just like, it's at the same time where it's just like, it's just going to be a really, really good match. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, guys. So before we kind of continue on, Emily is hopping off. Thank you so much for coming on for a little bit of our podcast tonight.
Me. This was awesome. So excited for Forbidden Door. You guys keep at it though. I'll see the rest of it once I wake up tomorrow and catch the recording.
All right, no worries. Take care, Emily. You have a good night.
Guys.
Thanks to see you again. Bye.
See ya.
All right. So, all right, guys. So, yeah, I feel like that one's gonna be a fun one. I would love to see a Jungle Boy. I would love to see what he did with like Chris Jericho did, like the suited Jericho, do a similar gimmick. That would be so much fun to see how he would play that.
Would he go into a turtleneck like Christian Cage is doing?
Ooh, turtleneck Jungle Boy. Yes.
This
With a haircut, yeah.
Interesting comment. Would he join Christian Cage?
I think they're done. I think they're going to go their separate ways, but I think you could do something down the road with them. Or I feel like you could have them both be separate heels in two different shows and then have them both turn babyface and have them come back together. Because, like I said, they started AEW together. They were like one of the biggest tag teams on the independent scene. And it's kind of sad to see them both be separated, you know? It's kind of hard to see that, but at the same time, it's like, who knows what could happen. I don't think he'll join CC.
Yeah, because it seems like him and Luchasaurus on Collision, and Jungle Boy and Hooks is going to be on Dynamite. So to separate them, since how long they feuded.
Yeah. All right. Next we have the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, going up against. I am salivating over this match. We got Danielson versus Okada. Oh, this one is going to be the hardest. This is one of the ones that's going to be hard to call. I don't know who I want to win this one. I would love to see Okada beat Danielson, but I don't know. This is their first time ever meeting and facing. Two of the best wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about New Japan. I love it whenever I get those little nuggets of New Japan. I put them in my mouth and they taste so good. And but so I would have to say I got to root for I always mess up. Brian. Yes, sorry, Brian. I always get the names confused.
I still do it. Don't worry, man. I still do it. I still do it, Zach. Don't worry.
Yeah, but the American Dragon. There we go. I'd love to see him. Love to see him win. You know, I've done some research on his opponent Okada, right? But yeah, I don't know. I just want to see. I want to see again. I'm a BCC guy, so
yeah. Oh, like
I'm going to go Okada. I think this will be a really good match. This is going to be on par with Danielson's matches with Hangman and Omega with the time limits and the Iron Man matches. I think you're going to see that with him and Okada. I think you're going to see a solid 30, 40-minute match of just back and forth, close calls. But, I mean, I think the reason why you put this match together is to introduce the American crowd to Okada, who already loves him. You know, the American crowd have seen Okada in AEW before and last year at Forbidden Door. But also, like I mentioned before with Sonata just beat Okada to win that IWGP heavyweight championship. You know, so I think Okada needs to bounce back from that, and I think no better than to beat Bryan Danielson, who is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. I honestly believe that. You know, would I be okay with a Bryan Danielson upset win over Okada? Sure. You know, it doesn't really matter who wins this match because we're getting it. We're getting a match that has been talked about for a long time between two great technical, hard-hitting wrestlers in the world. You know, so I'm excited for it. I mean, I was excited for it the day the video came out of Bryan Danielson challenging Okada with him up in the mountains saying, you know, there's not going to be any effing rain like that. It gave me chills. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that might have been the best promo Bryan Danielson has ever cut in his career. And it just pumped me up more. So I want to see this match go that 45 minutes and just see last minute, just hard hitting finish by Okada with the Rainmaker and 1, 2, 3. That's it. I don't want to see any interference from the Blackpool Combat Club. I don't want to see any guys affiliated with Okada coming in to run it. I just want to see these two guys go at it for at least 45 minutes. And that's my dream right there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a crazy good match. I think Okada's got this one. I really think Okada's going to win this. I don't know, I think it's going to be one of the best matches we'll ever see in a.
It might be the best match on the card. It might be. It might be the best match on the card.
That's
as much as I love to watch Omega and Will Ospreay, this match is definitely going to be the best match on the card.
So crazy! It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I'm definitely gonna stay up and watch it for sure. It's so crazy. This is finally happening. Like, I'm just surprised it took him this long to do it, but it's worth the wait for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then next we have our AEW World Championship match with MJF and Tanahashi. I feel like this one's pretty straightforward, but it's going to be a good bout to see Tanahashi in AEW again. I think MJF's going to win. I think he's going to win doing something crooked, something with the ring, schoolboy roll-up, fire extinguisher, something. He's going to do something. Or maybe even Adam Cole helps him win. That'd be cool. So I think MJF's going to be the victorious versus Tanahashi. I don't think he can lose the belt to Tanahashi. I don't think but not that a proper belt for sure. But I think MJF's going to win that one hands down. I can't wait for the match though. I think it's another one that could be match of the night too.
We're actually getting MJF to wrestle.
Yeah, that's true.
But out of all things, you know, he trashed.
Contractually obligated to wrestle.
He trashed New Japan so much that actually he wasn't going to show up, and then Punk would be the one to accept the challenge to go against Tanahashi, like the match like I was supposed to happen last year. I actually thought it was going to happen. But Punk, MJF's going to have to wrestle. He's going to team up with Adam Cole. He's going to have to go against Adam Cole again pretty soon. He's going to have to wrestle on Sunday. He's going to have to wrestle a lot more.
True. He's been on TV more, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be worked.
Yeah, this is an MJF win. Again, there's going to be some kooky ending to it of how he wins, but this is an MJF win because the story with Adam Cole is not over.
Nope, not over yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, MJF's going to win, but the devil is in the details. I love MJF because, like, his storytelling in the ring, it reminds me, you know, MJF is his own guy. But it reminds me of like Ric Flair back in the day and the NWA telling those stories in the ring. And like you said, always finding that ace up the sleeve or the ring on the finger, if you will, finding that way to win. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how this match plays out. But yeah, MJF is going to win for sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Zach, with the combination of Ric Flair and NWA, but he's also got a little bit of the whole mind of it from Piper too.
Oh,
Roddy
yeah.
Piper was the same way in old school WWF, man.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
true.
such a good heel. He knew what he was doing, knew how to tell a story, and that's why I also love MJF because he honors those heels of the past and he brings it into his style of professional wrestling, and that's why I think he's one of the biggest heels in the world right now in professional wrestling. As far as heels go, I think there's 3 of them right now, and people are going to be shocked by my 3. But it's MJF, Roman Reigns, and Dominic Mysterio.
Yep, it's those
I
three.
think those are the 3 biggest heels in professional wrestling right now.
I also
What
think
about-
he's talked about wrestlers too.
It is insane. But MJF plays it so well. There's someone had been interviewed and they were like, "Oh, I think he goes too far with his method of his character because he does it on the outside world too with fans."
I love
I
it.
said, let it happen. He wants to play that character out there. Let him play that character. I guarantee you, deep down inside, he goes home and he laughs. He goes, I can't believe I've been doing this for so long that people still believe I'm a dick. Like,
Sorry about how the cut. Someone gets a ding dong ditch in my house. Oh,
Jeez.
yeah. I keep on thinking it's actually someone I knew. It's like something urgent. Then I used to think it was funny, but now when it's played back on you, it's not so funny.
Nope. All right, now time for the main event. I'm assuming Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. Oh boy, now this match has a lot going into it. Of course, you had the awesome match at Wrestle Kingdom that Kenny Omega, beat Will Ospreay for. You had that crazy good promo, back in January about how much that Will Ospreay sacrificed. His friends were dying. He was starving, had no money, was all alone in a small, shitty hotel room. So this is, like I said, so this right here is going to be one of the best matches, I think, story-wise of the night. And looking at it too, you also have Don Callis waiting in the rafters. He's kind of talking hints, at least last night on Dynamite. So I think that's going to play a lot into the finish tomorrow. I think Ospreay is going to win. I think Ospreay is going to get back his championship, but I don't think we'll see the last of Ospreay, of course, in AEW. But I think the bigger picture will be Takeshita versus Omega, especially going into Wembley.
I think this year more New Japan guys will win over AEW. I think Okada is going to beat Danielson. I think I got Ospreay beating Omega.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really good match. I haven't watched their one from New Japan. Was it Wrestle Kingdom? They went against each other. I haven't watched that match, but in an American crowd, I'm really curious to see if they can top that match or even come close to topping it. I got Ospreay. I think Don Callis is going to do something. But I think Blackpool Combat Club is losing the entire night. They're going to lose the entire night. Danielson and the 6-man or 10-man, whatever it is. I think this match is going to be a very, very good match. I think it is going to be the main event. Now you say that. But I got Ospreay. I don't know what to expect out of it, but I think it's going to be really, really good.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another big 5-star match. Both Meltzer and the fans saying it, so that's gonna be our new that's gonna be our new rating right there. Because let's take the average of how Meltzer rates it and the fans rate it, and that's how we're rating the star rating for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ospreay on this one. Again, this is the same thing I said with the Danielson and Okada match. I want to see this one go the distance. I want to see this one go 40 minutes at least, 45.
Yeah.
Like I said, they've got enough time to do it on the show, and I want to see them do that. I think between this one, Danielson and Okada, I think those two are going to be the longest matches you see on the card, at least excelling 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I want to see just Ospreay and Omega just go at it and just try to up one another in the match, psychologically outdo each other. And I'm with Connor. I think you'll see Don Callis towards the end of it when it looks like Kenny's got something going. Yeah. Callis will do something to distract Kenny, and Ospreay will take that opportunity, win back the IWGP United Championship, and I still think it's going to be a solid match, though. You know, like I said, my number one match I'm looking forward to is Danielson Okada. Definitely, this one's my second one. I mean, obviously, it's such a good match. I mean, I think back to the rivalry that Omega and Jericho had back in the day. It's on par with that. You know, of the psychological warfare between these two. So I'm definitely looking forward to this championship match.
You know, I think this coming into this is gonna be great. Another rumor I heard was that Ospreay will be one of the only people to kick out of the one-winged angel. I've heard rumors that could be happening, but that's speculation. They say that every time with every big Omega match. So I don't know. I think it'd be cool. But I think that's something you gotta still keep protected. So, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be a good show. As we start to wind down here, we're just gonna do a quick little lightning round.
Well, what about Zach? Does Zach have his pick for that?
Oh, sorry, Zach. I am so sorry. It was.
It's all good. It's
sorry,
all good.
Zach,
Yeah.
It's been a long night. It's fine, Lane.
No, it's been a long night. It's been a fun night. But man, like work today was just. Work was just nuts today. So. All right, sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Don Callis, he's going to do something, right? Because there's a part of Omega that is like, you know, still like, oh, like, why did he do that to me? And Don's going to take advantage of Omega's heart. And when he does, just like we were talking before, you know, then Ospreay's going to, you know, he's going to hit him with, forgive me, I don't know the name of his move. But that is, it's going to be over.
Yeah. What is Will Ospreay's finishing move? Give me a second. Do. Let's see. Let me see. I can't remember what it is. I've heard it before, but I can't remember. Let's see. His finisher is a it's a reverse 450. Reverse 450 and then a shooting star press is what they're saying.
Okay.
Or the Stormbreaker.
All right. That's. I don't like to remove people from the chat, but I think that's going to do it.
Yeah, you're good. Don't need to say anything. Just do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so crazy. It's gonna be a good night tomorrow night for sure. I'm super excited. Now, as we start to wind down here, we're gonna do a quick lightning round. Just give me your big bold prediction for Sunday. So we'll start with Zach. Zach, do you have a big bold prediction for Sunday?
I do. One word: Goldberg.
Goldberg, got it. Goldberg.
Because you know, Sings did say at the end of his promo, you never know what's going to be next.
True.
No one called. No one
good
called.
catch.
Yeah, never know. All right, Adam, what about you? You got a big bold prediction?
Even though she's hurt, I still say Mercedes Moné makes a brief appearance. That's my bold prediction. Even though she's hurt, I think you see her make an appearance. Maybe on the screen, maybe addressing Tony Storm or addressing someone. But I kind of see her making an appearance, even though she's hurt.
I love it.
That's a good one. Connor, what about you?
Kind of copying Zach's, but it's one of the bold prediction. Goldberg. I think we're going to see Goldberg in AEW. I don't want it to happen, but
it's sad. Is that sad? Like one of the biggest names in WCW.
Can I have a second bold prediction?
Sure, go ahead. What's up?
Lance Archer returns.
Yes,
yeah, that'll be good.
I can see that. Yes.
I miss him.
I know who recently has been on Twitter. Him and Andrade. So
another faction forming, maybe new tag team.
They like they wanted to go against each other.
Ooh.
Or become a team.
The random draw. There you go. That's how you do it. Have them win the tag tournament. Then
Hey,
maybe
I
have
would-
them beat FTR.
Hmm.
Yeah, because they will get a title shot who wins that.
Yeah. So my 2 bold predictions, I have 2 of them. First one is going to be God. I think the Gorillas will cost the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page.
Oh,
Oh,
That's my bold
Okay.
prediction. Because think about it, God, especially Tama, has been very quiet and he's very pissed off for a Bullet Club, and he's gone to say that the Bucks were one of the reasons why the Bucks and Jay White were one of the reasons why that Bullet Club fell apart and they no longer are part of it. So I think
Hmm.
God is going to do some kind of angle with the Bucks. And my other prediction, I think at the end of the night, just because I think Bullet Club needs some heat, I think Bullet Club will be behind Don Callis. I think they'll come out and destroy Kenny Omega once the night is over with. So those are my 2 big bold predictions. I think Bullet Club needs something to get them back as the biggest Gaijin heels
Hmm.
in New Japan. And I think that if you have Don Callis, secretly pay him off for one night only, have them do what Retribution should have been, have them come out, destroy the Bucks, destroy Kenny, destroy Hangman Adam Page, and then just leave the ring in just shambles.
Hmm.
So that's my 2 bold predictions for Sunday.
Nice.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, thank you guys so much for being on tonight. Of course, thank you, Connor, Zachary, and Adam, and Emily. So you guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys had fun with this in the chat as well. We try to do this live every Thursday. Just give you guys a heads up. Next week, we might have to do a pre-recorded episode. So it might not be live, but there for sure will be a Talking Elite for sure on Thursday. Next week, we are having a fun episode for sure for Talking Elite, and it's going to be the death of kayfabe. So we're going to talk about everything from the curtain call all the way up to, unfortunately, the drug trials and the Benoit tragedy. So this is going to be a fun episode. And then sometime starting in July, we're going to start our 3-parter with Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, and ending the streak. So that'll be coming this July on Talking Elite. So we got some big things in the work. Like I said, I'm been working my butt off on scripts behind the scenes and just notes and research. We're going to have a big, busy July for Talking Elite. So stay tuned for those announcements as well. It looks like Morgan in the comments. Thank you, Morgan, for watching. Looks like they'll be fully tuned in next week for it. Like I said, kayfabe killing it really was kind of the biggest. I feel like it's kind of the biggest thing that happened in wrestling, and why people consider themselves more marks than unfortunately fans now, because now they know everything. So it's gonna be fun to fun to talk about how things played out and how we got to where we are today. So that'll be next week's Talking Elite episode. Connor, do you have any announcements?
Not really. Rampage tomorrow.
Okay.
May or may not be on. I don't know. No, Mr. Jacobs might be taking over, but Saturday Collision. That's mainly it. Definitely subscribe. We're at 354. So goal's 500 before the year's over with.
in case anyone's wondering, we don't do any live reactions to pay-per-view, so you guys enjoy that on your own.
We'll for sure talk about it for sure on Wednesday, for sure.
Yeah, we don't do, but we will. As Blaine said earlier, we're going to have those Owen Hart those brackets on our social media pages.
Yeah.
So I'll get like I said, I'll write up mine tonight, because I think the first match tomorrow. Is that tomorrow night on Rampage?
I think is it a female and a male's match tomorrow night for the
I
tournament?
think so. Let me go.
Yeah, Punk's match and Willow Nightingale's
Yeah.
match.
Well, Punk's match is at Forbidden Door.
Oh yeah,
I'm saying
right.
tomorrow night you
Tomorrow.
have Sky Blue versus Anna Jay, and then is there one for the men's?
That's what I'm looking now. So so tomorrow it's Sky Blue and Anna Jay. Yes, yep. And then nope, there is no men's match. The matches will be on Collision.
Okay.
They'll be on July, but they'll be on June 29th. So the first one taking place on Sunday. So
Roderick Strong and Joe.
yeah.
That's gonna be something to see.
That's
Yeah.
interesting because, because all three on June 29th on Collision, except for Punk and Kojima. So we'll get the brackets up tomorrow, and then make sure you guys also participate too. Tag us in your brackets at All Elite Zone 1 on Twitter, or post it under the comment section on Facebook when we post them up. It's gonna be fun to see kind of whose bracket gets busted right off the gate, or if somebody predicts it all the way through. Connor is the fortune teller of the AZ, so it's gonna be fun to see what happens. If there is not anything else, I want to thank all you listeners, whether you're listening on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, Podbeam. We really do appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys share with your friends, turn on that notification, subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys next week for Talking Elite on Killing of Kayfabe.